We'll begin in child's pose, transitioning to tabletop, and then bird dog, or spinal balance, by lifting the left arm and then extending the right leg, lifting the right leg, and finding balance. And then we'll do some ab work by touching the left elbow to the right knee. Let's do this several times as we work on both our balance and our left-right brain integration, as well as our booty. We'll bring those limbs down to the ground. Now let's transition to the other side. Right arm, left leg extends. We'll hold that for a moment, finding our balance, and then we'll begin to touch left knee to right elbow. We'll repeat that on this side, really working those abs and the booty. Now relax that position. We'll come back to hero's pose and do some wrist warm-ups. Yoga can put a lot of pressure on the wrist. And we'll open up our shoulder blades and hug ourselves on the left and then the right, really opening up the back, stretching the shoulders and arms. Now we'll continue our work on the booty with some fire hydrants. So we'll lift the right leg. We'll do this for 12 times. Moving out at your own pace, trying to inhale and exhale with the effort. And now we'll do the other side to keep our balance. We need a balanced booty. So 12 times on the other side. Almost there. And to continue our work on the booty, we'll now do some leg lifts. And we'll do 36 of these. And in the beginning, they seem pretty easy. Try to do a controlled movement so that the work in the booty is our main focal point. And the higher we get on the count, the more the muscle is fatigued, and you may feel a little burn sensation there as that muscle begins to do its work. Just a few more. There you go. And we'll switch to the other side. Same thing, 36 of these. Get that booty work in. Swimsuit season is upon us. Just a few more. Really reaching to the sky with the leg, working that muscle. Almost done. Whew. Those are rough. So let's stretch back into a wide leg child's pose. Feel that stretch in the hip. Also place our foreheads on the mat and maybe gently roll it left and right. Finding a bit of relaxation in this practice. taking in a deep breath, coming to tabletop, and then plank. And we'll hold here for 30 seconds. Working those abs and the booty. You can squeeze the glutes together to help assist the abs. Now let's transition down to our stomachs, and we'll do a few Superman type poses to stretch the body left and right. Again, working opposite arm and leg, right arm and left leg, working that left brain, right brain integration, so that when someone says, "What do you put in the toaster?" you can answer bread. And now, place the arms by the sides. Let's move into locust. So we'll slowly lift our heads, rounding the shoulders back, and then lift the legs. Then let's take the arms and bring those around, even with the shoulders. And you can feel like you're flying. There's a wonderful breeze out here where I am, and it truly does feel like I am flying. We'll bring the arms around in front. Hold that, and then back, swimming. See if we can take them back a little bit further. And then clasp the hands behind the back and do a shoulder stretch to the locust. And then we'll release down. Take a deep breath, and then let's transition into down dog, finding a nice stretch after locust. Perhaps pedaling out the feet, but finding a really good stretch. Now let's take the left leg to meet the hand in the front of the mat. Taking a moment to regroup as we raise our bodies and our arms into crescent lunge or a high lunge. As a modification, you can drop the knee. You can release the knee. Perhaps adding a little heart opener. Sinking down. And then returning the hands to the mat. We'll lift the left arm up. Finding a twisting lunge. And then we'll bring that left arm up and down as we inhale and exhale like we are holding a giant beach ball. Now we'll transition into side plank. So both the feet come together, and then we lift up the left hand and our weight is focused on the right arm. Returning to center. Let's try the other side. So this time, all of our weight is on the left hand and the right arm is extended. Returning to center, and now a down dog for a nice stretch again. This time we'll bring the right leg to meet the hand. Finding a good position for our bodies, we will do a twisting lunge. And again, we'll do the same inhale and exhale, like we're holding a giant beach ball to add some flow to our practice. And from here, we'll rise into our crescent lunge, readjusting our stance as needed, and again, lowering the knee as a modification, perhaps also adding a heart opener as an additional modification. The hands return to the mat, and the left foot comes up to meet the right foot, and we slowly rise up. We'll take a step back and move into chair pose. Here we'll also do a little flow with the arms as they come up. We rise up, and as we bring them in front of us, we sit down into the chair. Really working those glutes and thighs, lifting up, coming down, bringing the hands in front of us in a chair flow. As a modification, rolling onto the tiptoes, and then back down, and then arms to the sky. Again, we flow that forward where we sink into the chair, arms ahead, rolling onto the toes, the balls of the feet, rolling back, standing up straight. We'll flow this a few times. As we work the booty, the top of the legs, and also our balance as we come into the balls of the feet. Take a rest from that. Now we'll turn. Preparing for eagle pose, we'll shift the balance onto the left leg and lift the right leg up. Sinking as we wrap that right leg around or just crossing over, bringing hands to heart, and then finding our eagle arms as well. Trying to sink back a little bit, remembering that the focus of this practice is the booty, those glutes. We'll open into a small tree pose to relax the hip, kind of sinking left and right. And now we'll transition to the other side, finding balance on the right leg as the left leg comes around, crosses over, and maybe even wraps around. Again, slowly raising the hands overhead and then to heart center as we find our balance, our focus, and then transitioning to eagle arms. Finding the balance, the focus will release. Again, we'll step out to the sides, the mat, slow little toe touch. Open up the hip, maybe a small tree pose on the side. And now we'll work on figure 4 pose. We'll put that balance again, shift that balance again to the left leg. And this time we'll bring the right leg up. Finding our balance, hands to heart. Maybe twisting to the side. Finding some additional balance. And then extending those arms, perhaps having them touch the ground or not, and then gracefully falling out of the pose. Stretching the hips, moving a little bit side to side in something that feels good for you. A few little toe taps again to stretch out the hips, give you a break in those legs, and then we'll transition to the other side. Shifting our weight to the right leg, bringing the left leg up, Finding our figure 4 pose with hands to heart. Finding that balance. And then considering taking an additional modification for a twist. When we extend the arms, we can perhaps touch the ground to give us an additional balance, or see where you land. Finding focus and balance, and then gracefully falling out of the pose. Taking a moment to do a few moves that feel good for you, to stretch the arms and the hips, big shoulder rolls, big sunshine flowers, a few toe taps, again, just shaking out the body. Those are some very focused, balanced poses. We shift our weight, stretching side to side. The feet are wider than hips as we come into a wide-legged straddle, finding balance on the balls of our feet as we work on goddess pose. As a modification, you can keep the feet flat on the ground, bringing the hands together overhead, and then to heart center, coming down, trying to do a sunflower, and again gracefully falling out of the pose and finding garland pose or yogi squat. Taking a moment here to find focus, and then we'll transition down to the mat to do our seated work and also some ab work for this booty practice. So slowly, as you can, gently roll back, little by little, slow and controlled, focusing on the abs as we work to come down. Our abs provide so much for us in this yoga practice. And now it's time to add bridge. This is the final pose of the challenge. Actually, the first pose of the challenge, but has been added to the end of this Booty Fit practice. So finding bridge, perhaps tucking the arms under, clasping the hands, taking a deep breath. And then, since this is a booty challenge, doing some squeezes or trying to lift the legs, finding some modifications that work for you. We'll do some glute squeezes, and then we'll slowly roll down. Let's try that again. So we'll lift into bridge, perhaps tucking the shoulders, finding a good place. And again, considering adding either some leg work or some glute squeezes to intensify the bridge in this booty-focused practice. Just a few more if you're doing the squeezes. We'll untuck the arms. We'll come up on the balls of the feet on our tippy toes and gently bring the spine down one vertebrae at a time. So from here, you can choose to do another bridge or come into wheel. So we'll lift up into wheel. Again, finding where you are in this practice, knowing that it changes from day to day. Finding modifications in wheel, balancing on one leg, trying it on the other side. So if you try the left leg, also try the right, knowing that different sides of the body feel differently. Stretching out the hips, knowing that upside down the world looks different, and allowing this heart opener to pour all the things out of your heart that need to be released. And then slowly coming down, bringing knees to chest, rolling up for a nice good stretch, extending the arms and rolling the legs to one side, stretching them out, coming back to center, a little bit of a windshield wiper, and then releasing them to the other side with a stretch. Returning to center. Extending the legs slowly. Relaxing. We are almost in final relaxation. But because this is a booty practice, take this opportunity to do a few more glute squeezes here before final relaxation. Finding the inhale and the exhale, preparing to release all the work that we've done in this practice. Big inhale, followed by a longer exhale, sighing it out. Feeling your body relax into the mat. And then thank you so much for joining me in this Booty Yoga Fit practice. We are Yoga on the Go Productions, sending you much love.